Do you have trouble with doing the daily journal thing? If it's a struggle, well, hang on, because in this video, I'm going to share with you my journey to journal for 31 days straight in the month of July. And I am going to share with you a couple of the hacks that I came up with to help me with this journal practice. Hey, as a 60-year-old content creator, I'm in that group. Those folks who are, well, most of the videos are for folks over 40. But hey, I'm hitting 60 and I'm hitting it hard. And I know when I was younger, I journaled a lot. In my comedy days when I lived in the city, I always had a notebook with me. I was always writing. Always. But as I've gotten older, as life takes control, and you don't get to sit, write, and reflect as much. Well, in recent months, I've been reading The Artist's Way, and I've also been a pretty big fan of the Miracle Morning practice, and part of that is scribing, is writing. And I set a goal to journal every day in July, so that's what I want to share with you. As it turned out, my July was pretty eventful because a family member was sick, and I wound up having to spend almost 3 weeks on FMLA leave and spending time with family. But in that time, I carved time for myself to do my daily journaling practice. I also paired it with some exercise too, so I'm killing all kinds of birds with the stone. But I find that with morning pages, to get all 3 of those pages in was a challenge. I am not gonna lie, but I did find a hack that helped me get there, and I wanted to share that with you. Well, in the morning, I would try to do it first thing in the morning, but sometimes I didn't journal first thing in the morning. Sometimes those journal entries hit me a little later in the day. And you know what? That's okay, because my goal wasn't always to be perfect, wasn't to always get the 3 pages, but to get my thoughts out of my head and onto the paper. Even though my goal was to sit down and do these handwritten journal entries to reflect, and I am not taking away or saying it's the same experience, but for me it was more important to get those thoughts out of my head onto paper. And I realize a lot of times when I do my handwritten notes, even though I love them, I don't always go back and read or reflect on them. So what good are they doing me? Well, what happened is, driving back from New Jersey to North Carolina, I realized I hadn't journaled in the middle of the month. So I took out my cell phone, and I know I'm not supposed to drive with the cell phone, but I merely opened the voice memo app and did my journal entry. Now, I start my journal entries out the same way, and I've been doing it since somewhere in the mid-90s. Where's your head? It's kind of my go-to prompt because it works for me on all kinds of levels, not just where I am physically, where I am mentally, where I'm looking to be. It kind of grounds me to get me to where I need to be in my journal writing journey. So with my Where's Your Head prompt, I went on and was able to speak and ramble, and I can ramble. I'll own it. I will own it. So I was able to ramble, and thanks to the features of the voice memo app, at least on the iPhone, I'm able to take those ramblings and then copy them to transcript to notes. So now I had pages of notes that I could actually paste into my journal. So now my journal is a scrapbook, but it doesn't matter because it worked out well for me. And that is a great hack. In fact, my number 1 hack on making sure your journal habit happens every day. If your life is busy, if there's kids, if there's chores, if there's work, there's a lot of things to do. And instead of listening to that radio program on the way to work, why not do a voice memo, do a brain dump? And that's what those journals have been for me. It's just been a great way to do a brain dump, and a great hack is to use that voice memo app, and it easily translates to text. And thanks to AI features, you can do all kinds of crazy things. But for my journaling journey, I wanted to record things because, again, in this 60th year, it's my last year in public education, and I consider getting like one of those AI pen recordable things like the Plod or something, so that I could constantly be recording and taking in information so that I could reflect on this year and share the things I learned or the things I know with other folks who might be near retirement or who might be starting in education. So that's one of my goals. And if you want to find out more about my views and my work with supporting especially new educators, you can check out my other YouTube channel, New Educator Notes. There's a link in the description because that's what YouTubers do, I guess. Anyway, the cost was just ridiculous. But here's my iPhone. It will record, and it will record my voice, and it will also allow me to document. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I am not taking away from the experience of handwritten journaling. And to me, there's nothing like it. And if I actually look back over the month of July, I would say of the 31 days, I probably did voice memo to text for maybe 9 of those days. And you know what? It made the habit sustainable to me, so that even though it is August, I will still continue to journal. Now, will I get to morning pages 3 handwritten pages level? I may not, but at least this hack gives me a way to access those journal pages without being intimidated. And that I could be excited about, and hope you can be excited about too. If you are considering trying it, it's really simple for iPhone users. And you know what? I didn't research it, but I'm sure you can do it in Android, and Android might even do it better. I'm in the Apple ecosystem. Shoot me. In any case, you would just open the voice memo tab, and usually it's as easy as just hitting the button and pressing record and speaking. Once you finish, and I find it only works on iPhone as opposed to when I do it on the desktop, but on iPhone you can hit the 3 dots, and once you hit those 3 dots, it comes up to copy transcript. I then take that transcript and port it over to Notes or Day One, which is where I am doing a lot of my journaling these days. Well, that's my hack, and I hope it helps you. Oh, I did mention a second hack. Yeah, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. And my second hack was actually taking some of those transcripts, the ones that I felt comfortable with and the things I felt comfortable with sharing, and actually putting them into ChatGPT to give me some ideas on video. And in fact, it gave me the idea to share how I maintain my journaling habit using the voice memo hack, so that I didn't miss a day when I wasn't journaling hands-on. So it helped. Anyway, if you want to see how the process continues and how what I do with some of my notes and my journaling, you can watch this next video coming up. And if you want to come on this ride with me as I close out my last year of my education career and tackle the 60s, by all means, press subscribe and bell notifications and all that YouTube-y kind of crap. Thanks so much for watching. Be well.